Hey, welcome to the Victims and Villains channel. If you guys are new to this channel, we create content to discuss mental health through pop culture. My name's Captain Nostalgia, and today we're talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. This adaptation explores Mario and Luigi, two Brooklyn plumbers making their way into the kingdoms. I don't know the technical terms. I'm not familiar with the video games and the lore. I'll talk about that more in a second. But they get separated, and it's up to Mario, Princess Peach, and Toad to take down Bowser and to reconnect with Luigi. I'm going to throw this disclaimer out there that I am a representation of the general audience with little to no connection to the video games. Like, yes, I've played them. Yes, I grew up watching the television show. But I am not a diehard video game or Super Mario Brothers fan. For one. For two, I don't have any kids, so I am seeing this simply as an adult who just likes movies. With that disclaimer, I will say that I have a love-hate relationship because I feel like this movie is made for both of those audiences simultaneously. I think this movie does a good job at paying homage to the 30 plus years of Mario, Donkey Kong, Luigi, all of the mythology. I thought was just really well done. I will say that there are moments within this film that they are trying to stuff in so many Easter eggs that it feels almost as if it's actually taking away from the actual narrative. Like, they do a good job at kind of placing them along the path, but there does become this point where it just, as someone who's unfamiliar but recognizes that they are Easter eggs, because I watched this right next to true fans of this franchise, there's so many stuff that they're pushing in here. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like there is a lot of cool things that they do with the lore. I love the way that the film's score integrates the classic video game themes of the 80s, 90s, and the new millennium. I love the way that they piece in elements of Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. Heck, I'm pretty sure that there's even a Luigi's Haunted Mansion reference in here. I think they do a good job at kind of just being like a nod to the fans of the franchise. But for, again, someone that is in the gen pop like myself, that doesn't necessarily know all of these things, it's introducing you to so much that it actually reaches a point where it feels overstimulating almost in certain points of the story. I still have a love-hate relationship. I just got out of the movie. I can't tell whether or not I love or hate Chris Pratt as Mario. It just kind of was neither here nor there. Same with Charlie Day as Luigi. I really thought that I would like him, and that's not necessarily the case. I feel like this two standout performances for me is Jack Black. Before I reveal the other one, I just have to say Jack Black 100% steals the show in this movie. He has stolen every piece of marketing for this movie. And the fact that he is in the scene-stealing portion of the marketing and that it carries over into the film, I just think he's the best part of this movie. I love the fact that he gets not one but two musical numbers in this. I'm a huge Tenacious D fan, so kind of getting to see him lean into just the ridiculousness of Bowser, but also that the script allowed him to really showcase his true talents. I love that. And the other one that I'm going to say is Anya Taylor-Joy. I think that she's at this point in her career where she is yet to deliver a bad performance, and Super Mario Brothers movie as Princess Peach, once again, another capitalizes on yet another great performance. Pacing of this movie is stupidly brisk. It is so fast-paced. And that's kind of, again, to bring up the narrative. That's why I have such a problem with all the Easter eggs, is because this movie moves so quickly and you're exploring these kingdoms stupidly fast. Narrative is really simple, straightforward. Two brothers get separated. They're just trying to reconnect. I think for fans of the franchise, this is going to be a great movie for you to experience, and I think it's probably one of the best video game adaptations. And I'm going to say this with a disclaimer, if you are a fan of the franchise. If you are like me and you know the pop culture mannerisms or things of Mario, then this movie is just gonna kind of feel a little bit overcrowded at certain points. Animation in this movie is simply stunning. Illumination never fails when it comes to their art, and I think that Super Mario Bros. As a collaboration between Nintendo and Illumination just feels like a win-win, because you get the beauty of both artistries coming together on just an absolutely stunning project. And I think my last complaint that I will say is, for a film that feels as larger than life as this movie does, this movie never kind of brings itself to the fantastical elements that it's trying to explore. It's just a fancy way of saying I feel like this movie feels forgettable. So I'm going to run this through the Rorschach rating scale, and I'm going to go ahead and give the Super Mario Brothers movie a 2.5 out of 5. I think this movie is going to satisfy long-time fans of the franchise, and I think it's going to win over kids, but outside of those two groups, this movie is really niche, and it's catering to those two specific groups, and it's going to end up hurting itself in the long run. What should have been an introduction to this franchise ends up just being a fan service. And that's okay. And that's coming from someone that is not a fan of this franchise. But I really hope that you enjoy it. And if you guys have seen this movie, if you guys have played any of the video games, what did you guys think? Comment below and let me know. But let's talk about mental health. If you guys are new to our channel, Mental Health Moment is where we take a theme of mental health out of the film which we're reviewing, talk about it for a few moments in the hopes to deconstruct the stigma surrounding mental health. This movie's first act deals a lot with bullying and kind of really rising above bullying and believing in yourself even when no one else does. And that's kind of something that I walked away with really encouraged by this movie. Especially when this is a movie that is pandering specifically to a younger generation. You really do have to believe in yourself. Don't necessarily listen to those that are around you that are speaking negatively, because 9 times out of 10, all of that negative influence is A, it's not good for your mental health, but B, it's not good for your self-esteem, and C, those people probably don't have your best interests in heart. From someone that used to believe every lie that was spewed from people like that, not only did it create things like anxiety and depression, but it had a huge lasting effect on not only my self-esteem, but also my ability to love myself. And there are certain days that even now as an adult, almost 20 years after experiencing bullying, where those things still creep in, and I still question whether or not I actually mean enough. Am I enough? The long and short of it is, yes, I am enough. And so are you. So believe in yourself. Believe in yourself like Mario. Believe that he would reconnect with Luigi. I hope that's an encouragement to you, and if you or someone you know is currently struggling with suicide, addiction, self-harm, or depression, click the links in our show notes below to check out our mental health resource library. Down there, you guys will also find links to our podcasts, more movie reviews, our social media links, our Patreon, and most importantly, once again, the mental health resource library, along with that subscribe button right here on YouTube, so make sure that you guys hit it. Super Mario Bros. Movie is now playing in theaters everywhere from Universal Pictures, Illumination Entertainment, and Nintendo. Have a good night, guys.